Before walking into seeing Mickey 17, I had the question in the back of my mind, did I need to watch Mickey's 1 to 16 before watching Mickey 17? And the answer to that question is...
maybe.
Hi, I'm Jack, and welcome back, because today I'm going to give you guys my review for the newest movie from Bong Joon Ho that premiered in theaters a month ago, Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson as Mickey himself, alongside a supporting cast of Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette, Naomi Ackie, Yeun, and more. Let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on Mickey 17? I would love to know that. And with that said, let's get started. The movie is based on a novel that follows a disposable employee named Mickey Barnes, who is sent on a human expedition to colonize the world of Niflheim out in space. However, after one iteration dies, a new body of his gets regenerated with his memories remaining, and as things go wrong, he starts to get broiled up in a conflict that includes Kenneth Marshall, another Mickey, and more. I absolutely loved Parasite half a decade ago. I think it is one of the best movies of the 21st century, and Bong Joon Ho crafted a masterpiece of a movie that deals with the class system, his issues with capitalism, and telling a compelling story about these two families and how they interact with one another and a lot of the dangers that followed suit of that. It is a masterful movie, and if you haven't seen it, you are missing out.
You know what you need to do. You know.
And ever since then, I have been extremely excited to see what Bong Joon Ho was going to do with Mickey 17 being his follow-up movie, this time being an English movie with a bunch of actors like Robert Pattinson starring in the mix. And I was really liking the premise of this movie, so I came in with really high expectations, and I've been eagerly excited to watch it. So now that I've seen it in theaters twice over the last month, I loved Mickey 17. It is a wacky, goofy, zany sci-fi movie with satirical elements that worked really nicely, and it is spearheaded by a committed performance from Robert Pattinson. Oh wait, give me a second. Two Robert Pattinsons.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Starting off the positives with Mickey 17, I think it is visually a well put together movie. It really makes you feel like they filmed this movie on another planet like Niflheim, and it is just so well done with the way that it's shot, it's framed, the way it focuses on what Mickey's life is like when he's inside of this human expedition, and how cold and small it feels compared to when he is outside on his job and he sees like how big Niflheim is. There's a cool visual contrast that I really like here, and the cast is really good. I like the supporting cast, from Mark Ruffalo just playing this really kooky, crazy character with a lot of really evil intentions with what he wants to do with Niflheim, and so is Toni Collette playing a very devilishly funny character as his wife, and so is Naomi Ackie as the love interest of Mickey, and Yeun as his friend. But Robert Pattinson is without a doubt the MVP of this movie. He doesn't just play one character of Mickey, he plays a bunch of different Mickeys, and he is really funny in this movie with how he plays as Mickey 17 and even Mickey 18, how they bounce off one another. It really feels like these are two different people working alongside each other, even though they're played by the same person. And I always give kudos to actors who are able to pull this off very convincingly. And Pattinson is such a versatile actor, and he plays this role so well with the voice changes and the mannerisms, and how he acts really silly and he's in over his head and he's not expecting to do some of the things that he does in this movie. And then you have Mickey 18, who is much more serious. He's much more eager to do things that he feels like is necessary, even if it's not thought all the way through. Pattinson is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood and in the business right now, and he absolutely understood the assignment in this movie. Adding to that, I think it is a really funny movie. It definitely has elements of comedy, from situational comedy to physical comedy, especially when we see both Mickeys at conflict with one another early on, to the creatures that we are introduced to in Mickey 17. What does that look like? And even with the satirical elements, which is where a lot of the comedy is focusing on. And I really like how Bong Joon Ho is able to take all the things that comes off as very signature ideas from his movies and reapply it in a very different way. In Mickey 17, it is a criticism of capitalism, how people are treated, and the class structure and the downsides of that. And so as with Mark Ruffalo's character, who is the antagonist of this story, and how that factors into everything. I thought it was just a really cool way for him to tell this story with cloning, with expedition to another planet, with all these side hijinks going on. I think it works really nicely, and it also is able to tonally play it really well with balancing between being a very satirical movie while also having a bit of an edge to it with a lot of the stuff that's at play. There are scenes here that really got under my skin, had me very worried for the fate of the characters, and there are scenes that had me dying of laughter at the next moment. And it doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't break my immersion as I watched it. So that was really nice when watching Mickey 17. And I also enjoyed the evolution of how Mickey transforms over the course of this movie from being a guy who wants to do something with his life. Earth is not in a very good place right now in this movie because it seems like Earth is ravaged. Stuff has happened on Earth that has been really bad. And so his next hope is to go out into the stars and colonize another planet. And what does that look like for him? I think that was really cool, just seeing where he starts off as and then where he ends. I think the narration bits from Robert Pattinson as the character, I think, worked really well. And then on top of that, I thought the movie had a pretty good ending for what it was, and I thought it bookends this story nicely while also being a movie that has just all these different elements at play, and it can get pretty overstuffed with it. I do think it is an inferior movie to something like Parasite, even if there are some similar ideas, especially when it comes to critiquing capitalism and all of the downsides of it. And I do think there's some plot lines here, mainly the one with Steven Yeun's character, Timo, that isn't as fleshed out. At times it feels like it's just added in there, and sometimes some of the character motivations don't get explored as much as to what exactly led to this being where we are right now. So Mickey 17 is a movie that can be a little bit at odds when it comes to how the tone plays out, but it wasn't that big of an issue here because I think for the most part it was able to tell the story, do it very nicely, and it's also a movie that just knows how to have fun with the material at play. All in all, Mickey 17 is a great movie. It is one of my favorites of this year. It is a really great addition to Bong Joon Ho's filmography, and for this being one of my favorite movies of this year, I think so far it is very promising, and it's definitely up there on my list. And even though it's not perfect, it's not quite as good as a movie like Parasite, the bar was really high, but Mickey 17 in the end managed to be not only just a really good time at the movies, but it was just a really great sci-fi satirical drama that I really enjoyed in the end. So in the end, I'm going to give Mickey 17 an A. This movie confirms to me that having more Robert Pattinsons is a good thing, because not only is he just such a versatile actor, but he is one of the best out there doing it right now.
Let's go. Let's go.
So yeah, that's my review for Mickey 17. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Stay tuned for some upcoming videos I have planned, and don't forget to follow me on social media. My username is down below at the bottom of the screen and of the description below, so please go down while you're at it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more.